wife's car again, just taking the dog. Just took the doggo to the park, and now we're on our way home. Say hi, Kenzie. Nope, she's too interested in something else. Anyway, national emergency. Two very big words. I don't do a very good Donald Trump impression. But yes, Donald Trump announced yesterday the national emergency. I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was Thursday. I think it was yesterday, though. National emergency. Two very big words. And he made a speech in the Rose Garden. And he said he was going to unleash the full power of the federal government to fight this crisis. I think there was some urging on the part of the task force and Vice President Mike Pence for him to do this. I'm going to admit, he seems out of his element when it comes to stuff like this. He's a trade guy. He's a business guy. He's a markets guy. So when he looks at a national situation like this, he's looking at how it affects the markets because, let's be honest, if the markets tumble and if the economy tanks, it only makes this harder on everybody. So, of course, he put forward a plan to provide low-interest loans to small businesses so they can keep afloat while this crisis is dealt with. And you know what? When I watched this speech, this was the first time I've heard Donald Trump say and I know I mentioned the other day, he doesn't go a lot. He did yesterday, and I think, again, he's reading from a written speech on a piece of paper as opposed to a teleprompter. And he's got he's got to plug in a bunch of names and plug in a bunch of businesses that are going to be utilizing these emergency funds and the emergency powers. And of course, people online are giving him shit because he said that Google was going to be working on a Maps program. People say that's not true. There is no Google Maps. People at Google Maps have said there's nothing going on. It's actually a company owned by Alphabet Corp called Verily. I think it's Verily. They're going to be the ones developing it, and I guess it's been in development for a little while now. But when the task force and the CDC reached out to them and said, "Hey, look, let's really work on this together," they're like, "Yeah, we'll get on top of it," you know. Anyway, nothing he does is without criticism ever, and I mean, right? Hold your leaders to account, but a lot of the stuff that comes out of the media with regards to Trump is nitpicky garbage. So much so that Jim Acosta, I guess at another meeting in one of the conference rooms in the White House, said, "Mr. President, with all due respect, there are those who've criticized you for not taking this very seriously." And what was Trump's response? "Fake news, everybody, CNN." And then he just moved on. He didn't even answer it because it's a gotcha question. It's like saying, "Have you stopped beating your wife?" You know, and this is the kind of shit that Acosta engages in when it comes to Trump. If you go back and you look at how Acosta treated the Obama administration, oh my God, it was sad how much he had his fingers on the butthole of the Obama administration. It was ridiculous. People were mocking him for it, and they should mock him. He's not a journalist. He's a hack. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. With it being stated that it's a national emergency in the United States and they're taking all these steps to help fight it, here in Canada, I don't know what the response has been. One, because I don't really pay a lot of attention to Canadian politics. Seems kind of stupid, I know. But it comes down to the fact that I don't trust the Canadian government. I don't trust the Canadian government much more than I trust the Chinese government. So we haven't had a lot of cases. Now, we're 1/10 the size in terms of population of the United States. We've got a very few cases, and I think only one or maybe two deaths at this point. One death, I think, out in BC. But honestly, I don't really trust our government to be reporting correctly, much like I don't trust the Chinese government. Now, with the Chinese government, I think it's, definite and deliberate subterfuge. They want to keep it quiet, and they want to, control the flow of information with regards to it. Hi, puppy. and they want to make sure that people think that they're on top of shit. Fact of the matter is, for the first month of the outbreak, excuse me, for the first month of the outbreak, they didn't say anything, and they were gulagging, for lack of a better word, or silencing anybody who did say something about it. They would punish them if they said anything about it. And so now people are saying, oh, China's on top of it. They're not reporting as many new cases, or very few new cases coming out of China. The death rate is dropping in China. The recovery rate is going up in China. You can't trust them. I think, to be honest, I think they've just stopped testing. And this is where I am with the Canadian government. One, they haven't closed travel from China. They've closed travel, or not even closed travel. They've put on the customs. Somebody uploaded a picture of the customs information screen. In Canada, when you come in, you don't talk to a customs agent. You answer a questionnaire on the screen. And the questionnaire said basically, are you coming from, or have you been to Iran, Italy, or Hubei province, China? Well, sorry folks, but it's spread outside of Hubei province in China. And here's the thing, if you answer yes to those, there aren't people coming to quarantine you. They'll ask you a few questions, they'll see if you're showing symptoms, and they'll ask you to quarantine. So, they'll ask you to stay at home and not come into contact with other people. Well, you just got off a fucking plane. So if you use the washroom or you touch somebody's armrest, you're spreading that virus, whether you're symptomatic or not. Yeah, I think Canada's kind of dropping the ball. Now, I know our cases don't indicate that, but again, give it about 2 weeks and see if the numbers spike. I think they might. I don't know. I'm not an epidemiologist, virologist. I just play one on the internet. But I don't think they're handling it properly. And the fact that they haven't closed borders to China, and the fact that the Trump administration closed the borders to Europe, nobody's allowed to come in from Europe for the time being. Whether they're, and I thought originally it was whether if they were citizens, they could come in. But apparently, it doesn't matter who you are. They're holding off on any people coming in from Europe, regardless of their citizenship, for the time being. It's not like they're never coming back in. It's just until they get a handle on things. They don't want any new cases flying into the country. Makes sense. But I think our leadership here in Canada is so inept, they haven't even looked at that. They're more concerned about appearing racist. So they don't want to issue travel bans to any nations. They just want to know if you've been there. It's basically what it comes down to. And then if you have been there, they're asking that you self-quarantine. So anyway, all that being said, in an effort to forestall any further spread or risk of spread of the contagion at my company, they have instituted their BCP, their business continuance plan. Now, they set themselves up for doing this months ago when they gave everybody in the office a laptop, and we have a VPN set up so people can log in from home. So basically, my entire office is now working from home for the foreseeable future. Indefinitely was indefinitely the word? Basically, what they said was until further notice. That's what they said. So when it seems as though the virus is no longer an issue, I suspect that'll be sometime in the summer, because I don't know if this virus can survive in warmer, hotter weather, but who knows. Then they'll probably let us all come back to work. But I got to set up my office in my house for my workstation. So what does that mean for the channel? Well, it means I'm probably not going to be uploading stuff in the car unless it's in a parked car, just so I can get some quiet and some privacy. But or it means I'm doing it from my dining room table, which I'm fine with either way. But I do want to maintain this upload frequency. I do want to put up several videos a week if I can. So yeah, be on the lookout for that change. Now, I have some bad news. Unfortunately, I've been locked in Twitter jail again. Apparently, Twitter doesn't like you calling people retard. I use the R word, sorry. And so now it's like a week. So I will be back in there until probably next Thursday or Friday. In the meantime, I am posting on Gab. So this video, normally I link it on Twitter. I'll link it on Gab. So if you're on Gab, follow me there. On Gab, I'm at Crag Bragg, CRAGGBRAGG, and you can follow me on the free speech Twitter-like platform. And a lot of good content providers there, a lot of good commentary there. It's not all Nazis. It's only about 50% Nazis. I'm just joking. I don't know how many Nazis in there, but it's people who give a shit about free speech. So so yeah, I'll post my videos there at Crag Bragg. You can follow me there. I gotta back in. The wife likes backing the car in. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to say. I'll be uploading from home more, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.